Caitlyn Clark, and the value that she has brought to the WNBA, also to my hometown of Indianapolis. Okay, so listen, starting February 1st, which was now what? God, I can't believe we're already almost at the end of February. Starting 24 days ago, player contracts could start being signed in the WNBA. Draft day is April 14th, not too far off from here. And so you have many who are now looking at the numbers and really trying to estimate if there could, in fact, be higher WNBA salaries for the people that are re-signing their contracts, for the people that could be drafted, and, of course, for the people that have already made a tremendous impact on the league. Of course, when I say tremendous impact on the league, I am talking about really one person and one person only, that being Caitlyn Clark. Now, her agent, named Aaron Kane, is calling for higher WNBA salaries in the midst of the WNBA, finding a bit of a, I don't want to call it a resurgence because they were never super popular, then dying down, then getting back to popularity. Like, they're experiencing a popularity like never before at this moment in time because of, you know, different new elements being added to the league, like certain exciting players such as Caitlyn Clark. Now, when you look at the salaries of some of these players, I mean, Caitlyn Clark is not the only one we need to be giving flowers to, of course, but it is the Caitlyn Clark effect, I do believe, that has helped to elevate the entire league. So when you look at the salaries league-wide, including Caitlyn Clark's, they're very embarrassing. I mean, they are very much in line with what I was making for my third job out of school. Like, pretty much spot on what I made as like a young 20-something-year-old in a small market as a local news reporter. Caitlyn Clark was just paid over $78,000 this past year as her salary. Now, listen, you can't be like, oh, boo-hoo, Caitlyn Clark, because this is just her WNBA salary. She has obviously tons of endorsement deals on top of this, so she is a millionaire just coming right out of school. But the point is, her WNBA salary is embarrassingly low, as I just mentioned to you, for a professional athlete. Like, this is, you know, for some people in our country, depending on what your job is, maybe equivalent to what you might make. But for a pro athlete, when you look at what the NBA players are making, nowhere close. Like, not even a drop in the bucket compared to what NBA players make. Now, when you look at Caitlyn Clark and why her salary maybe does not make sense for her, is because she hasn't just had a major impact on the WNBA. She's had a major impact on the entire city of Indianapolis. There's an economic expert named Dr. Ryan Brewer. He has calculated that Clark has made the city of Indianapolis $36 million in her rookie season. Additionally, the calculation showed that Clark contributed to 26.5 of the WNBA's economic activity this season. Now, when we say she brought to the city of Indianapolis $36 million, the reason we are able to estimate, or rather not us, because I'm not doing any of the math, I'll be clear about that, but this economic expert, I mean, it's selling tickets to the game. What do people do when they come to the game? They spend money at the game. They spend money before the game. They go out to dinner before the game. They attend other entertainment type of events in Indianapolis. They're paying for parking in Indianapolis. Maybe there's tolls in Indianapolis that they have to get through to get into Indianapolis. Like, it's just saying she's bringing the city all of this money on top of the money that she's brought to the league. So clearly, yes, if pay raises are in order, Caitlyn Clark needs to be the first one getting a pay raise.
Caitlyn Clark is the first one who should be getting paid. Caitlyn Clark is responsible for the growth in the WNBA. Say it loud. As you can see, media is starting to be very one way around here. Those 2024 reports have came out. How much money was generated, what Caitlyn Clark is doing for the city, how much money was generated there, how much money was generated through the Indiana Fever, how much money was generated through the media. Who talks about Caitlyn Clark? Skyrocket. Everything. Every area, every statistic, everything you could think of for the city of Indiana spiked. Yeah. And how do you think that makes Caitlyn Clark look? How do you think it makes Caitlyn Clark look when you look at her salary and it's $78,000? Not to be like this isn't what the women's game deserves. It just shows you what the women's product has been. It's shit. No disrespect to the females. I love your games. I watch them. I support you guys. But for some reason, you guys don't have that it factor when it comes to the fans. The fans don't like you. Like I said, there's a 95% of the fan base who likes Caitlyn Clark, and there's a 5% who likes the rest of you guys. We could split the percentage up a little differently. I'm just going off that. Obviously, your guys' percentage hasn't been doing much for you. They really don't show up to games. They really don't buy tickets. They really don't buy beer, popcorn, hot dog sales, jerseys. They probably don't pay for parking. And they probably don't watch you. They probably watch highlights and comment on stuff. That's the difference with fan bases. So you have to understand, like, hey, yeah, you guys have a great product. You guys play good basketball. Okay. Some of you guys are very talented and very exciting to watch. You guys don't have it. You don't have the fan base. And you don't have whatever it is that Caitlyn Clark has, which is a lot. You don't have it, and this is the result. Something about Caitlyn, she's got the it factor. And she's the one who brought the eyes to this league. There were already eyes, but she brought the big eyes to this league. She brought the concert to the league. You know what I'm saying? So there's no denying this. There really isn't, because people try to deny it. I see it on X all the time. I see it on YouTube. I see it everywhere on social media. I see it from players. But now you're going to start hearing it from the media, who the most important player in the WNBA is. They've made it very clear on ESPN. They've made it very clear on pretty much all major networks who cover sports. So everything that you guys wanted to argue last year with all the players and, it's not Caitlyn Clark, and the fans saying it's not Caitlyn Clark. Well, it's right here in your face that it's Caitlyn Clark coming from the media.
Through a WNBA record, 1.84 million viewers to her first playoff game against the Connecticut Sun on September 22nd of last year. And the reason that this is an important statistic isn't just because of the number she brought to the game, but also because this game took place on an NFL Sunday. So drawing record viewers to a game, yes, incredible on its own, but to know that she did this up against NFL competition also speaks volumes. Now, she also then followed up that record-breaking number with another record audience of 2.5 million viewers for Game 2. As we know, before, leading up to this point in time, because they've now changed the playoff format, it was best 2 out of 3 games. So that was an elimination game in which she drew that record 2.4 million viewers for. So after she was eliminated, bye-bye Caitlyn Clark, obviously, the league, I'm sure, was praying for her to advance, but she did not. So then came the first weekend of playoff basketball with no Caitlyn Clark included. The ratings, nowhere close to what the WNBA experienced with Caitlyn Clark on the court. The first game between the defending champs, the Aces and the Liberty, this was a rematch of last year's NBA Finals, so clearly two of the league's most popular and successful teams up to this point, before Caitlyn Clark's rookie season, might I add. They drew an audience of 929,000, according to ESPN. That's 50% less audience members than the Fever's Game 1 against the Sun. So we have seen a tremendous drop-off when Caitlyn Clark is not on the court. Still, though, it's a good number for a WNBA playoff game. Certainly far better than what they've experienced in the past. But, again, without Caitlyn Clark, what would those numbers be? What would the numbers be if Caitlyn Clark had never gotten to the WNBA, right? It's interesting to even think about. But it's...
That's a huge point. What were those numbers? Even the fact Caitlyn Clark wasn't in that game, what would the numbers have the numbers been if Caitlyn Clark never came to the WNBA? Very good question. You guys got to understand, some of these viewerships now, it's a little trickle over effect, trickle down effect, however you want to say it. Caitlyn Clark. Maybe they have converted into deeper fans of the league, which is awesome. But I mean, it's right in front of you guys. The numbers dropped 50% from a single playoff game from a rookie who just got into the league. But the champions, the team with the most popular and the Olympians and all that stuff, they don't draw 1 million viewers. They draw 50% less than Caitlyn Clark. But it's all about you guys.
It's very clear her impact has been very loud. It's been very important. So much so that now Caitlyn Clark has been getting comparisons to the most famous person, I would say, in the world at this point in time. Are you following? I'll give you another clue. It's somebody that Caitlyn Clark attended a Chiefs game with this past season. Have you gotten there yet? I'm talking about, obviously, none other than Taylor Swift.
Swiftie.
Stephanie White is going to be the new head coach of the Indiana Fever, and she is doing a great job at getting the fans hyped. White was giving a comparison to the star status of Caitlyn Clark, and she stated this precisely. She said, quote, "She's incredibly humble. She understands the big picture. So she views it understanding her celebrity. Number one, but number two, she's a Midwest kid, a Midwest person, and she is who she is. She tries to live her life in an authentic way, but she's very much Taylor Swift 2.0. So, I mean, this is a huge compliment, right? I mean, to be able to say that you have someone in the WNBA whose celebrity rivals, you know, even not maybe quite the same, but on a you know, to a certain degree, to Taylor Swift. I mean, the WNBA has never even been talked about in the past. So now to say that you have somebody whose celebrity is as mainstream and as, you know, household entering as Taylor Swift, that is actually incredible if you think about it. Now, Clark isn't just getting praise from her head coach, which, you know, isn't so surprising. She's also getting praise from one of the former greatest college basketball coaches of all time, Coach Krzyzewski. Listen to what he said.
She has a great feel for the game. So, I mean, what her coach did, I would have done exactly what she did. Make sure she handles the ball a lot, and she'll make everybody better. And what I was amazed with at how she's handled all the defenses, and then when she got into the WNBA, some of the negativity that was out there, or jealousies. And I think she's just been remarkable.
Wow. I haven't seen that. That's legendary right there. That speaks volumes. That speaks volumes, in my opinion, right there. 100%. This is, wow. This is a legendary coach too. And you heard what he said. Put the ball in Caitlyn Clark's hand, and she's going to make everyone better. True statement right there. True statement. We saw it. We're talking about an Indiana Fever who barely won, 11 games last year. You see him in the playoffs now going toe-to-toe with not toe-to-toe, but fighting with a loaded Connecticut team with an amazing head coach. Kelsey Mitchell coming off the best season of her life. Lexi Hall all of a sudden just sparks and blooms into this huge role player with the Indiana Fever. Aaliyah Boston had a great year. They're winning ball games. Caitlyn Clark, man, put the ball in her hands. That's a great segment right there. Look, I'm going to cut it right here. We got some videos to get to. I appreciate you guys. I know it's been a little slow on this channel. I've been moving some things around. Had to, help my dad move stuff and things like that. So, just, bear with me. Bear with me. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 10,000 here. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. I couldn't do it without you. Until next time, I'm out.